Hey y'all, I am in a new environment. We just moved and I'd like to walk you through the moving vlog. Hey art nerds, long time no chat. You guys might notice things are looking a little bit empty around here. I've talked about this here and there before, but I thought it would be good to just make a flat out vlog about it. We are moving. We're moving from Nashville, Tennessee to maybe Destrehan, Louisiana. It kind of depends on what the apartment complex says. Their terms had some kind of religiously charged addendums in them that I took some issue with, so I'm hoping that's a typo, but I called them out on it and we'll see how that goes. But we are in the process of packing this place up, which means a lot of art supplies have gotten donated, a lot of art supplies have gone to new homes, and also a lot of art supplies have gotten packed. So I just kind of wanted to share what's going on with you guys. This is absolutely not a how to pack video or anything like that. I am the most disorganized person in the world, and I would be the last person to give advice on packing. And I've also had a lot of help in this process, so it is not a how-to, just sharing a slice of my life and letting you guys know what's going on. Alright, so this is my studio as of today. There's Bowie taking a nap. It's still really messy, but a lot of the big things other than my drawing table have been moved out, and I really hope to get this just finished up and packed up. Some of these things are going to have to travel in the car, like my large format scanner. That's just too important and too delicate to risk in a moving van. And I know it looks like disorganized chaos now. That's because it is, but I really hope to get it finished up soon so we can get a move on. Downstairs definitely looks more like we're actually moving. Okay, so from Louisiana to Nashville or vice versa, it's about 8.5 hours if you don't make a lot of stops for your cat. Kenneth and I, Joseph's younger brother, are going to be driving in the Jetta with Bowie the cat, and Joseph is going to be driving a 20-foot U-Haul. He has driven a U-Haul before, but he's driven one of the smaller ones. This is only a little bit bigger, like maybe 5 feet longer than the other one. And he's been doing most of the load up and packing. And I think he's been doing a pretty dang good job. Maybe we could have gotten away with one of the smaller trucks. Who knows? The worst thing, so when I moved from Savannah to Nashville, we had a pod and we filled up the pod really quick. So we ended up having to like last minute rent a U-Haul. So that's kind of not a situation you want to be in. So I guess it's better to have a little extra space than to have not enough space. Okay, so this is where we're at now. And honestly, this has been at least a week's worth of packing between 3 people. And a lot of this stuff is like, see that pile of clothes? That's going to be donated. So a lot I've been getting rid of and moving a lot of stuff out of my life as well. Okay, so the place is looking pretty different, but still pretty messy, so I don't want to like show you guys our progress because it doesn't necessarily look like a lot of progress, even though the truck is almost full. So the place I was telling you guys about in the earlier segment, we decided not to go with them because there were some really weird clauses in their contract that they weren't really willing to either amend or explain. Like there was a clause about how their employees are our employees, and we asked that we not be legally responsible for their employees, and they wouldn't explain it further. It was basically like, you can read, can't you? And it's like, that's not a clarification. And they also wouldn't remove it from the clause. So this morning we ended up looking for more places, and we didn't find it, but we got in contact with a real estate agent over a different listing, and they recommended the listing that I think we're going to go with. And fingers crossed, hopefully all goes well, because it is a way better place than the apartment we were originally going to go with. So I'm actually pretty happy with the fact that the apartment complex's manager was rude, and they had a really shady contract, because that led Joseph to be like, no, I'm not comfortable with this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to get into a bad apartment deal, because when I lived in Savannah, I lived on Walden Lane in that complex, and that seemed really nice at the start, and it turned out like staff was rude. The maintenance guys would just let themselves in the morning when I was a woman who lived by herself, and I'd made it clear to the apartment complex that I'm going to classes, so I'm not available in the morning, so that's not the time to let yourself in. They wouldn't give me advance notice when they were going to do it. Like, there was one morning, this maintenance dude, like, he pounded on my door, and I was like, give me a minute, let me put some clothes on. And he just starts letting himself in, and like, my cat is terrified and huddling by my bedroom door while this random guy is like banging on it. Not even ringing the doorbell, just banging on the door. So we're trying to avoid that kind of situation, because a lot of those big apartment places treat you like you live in the dorm. And I lived in the dorm in college, and it wasn't great. And I'm 34, and I'm not looking to live in another dorm. So, so there's a little bit of drama in that there's a couple of tropical storms / hurricanes in the Gulf right now set to hit the New Orleans area as we are set to drive through it. So we're packing up, but we're kind of also in this like wait and see area where it's like we're waiting to see what hurricane season does and what those particular storms do before we drive 8.5 hours to possibly get stuck in some really terrible windstorms and rain. So I'd kind of forgotten what hurricane season looks like living in Nashville, because we don't have a hurricane season. We have summer, 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 fall, winter, 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 spring, summer, 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 like that. So, yeah, it'll be exciting to go back to that life again. Here's Joseph cooking the last cooked meal, probably, in this kitchen. Almost everything's been packed up. And I promise it's not normally this messy. It's just packing messy. What are you cooking tonight?
I have no idea.
Crispy curry chicken and roasted vegetables. That looks pretty good, though. Not necessarily what I would think of. You'd think they'd go with like a Japanese style curry and not like an Indian style curry. Okay, so that's what the back of the truck looks like today. So, as I said yesterday, I don't know what day we're on, but this is a new day. Not a new day, obviously, the sun's going down. But this is the progress. It is taking forever, but it is getting there. Let me show you guys the truck. So something we have to keep in mind, I think I mentioned this yesterday, is the 2 hurricanes. That one of them isn't hitting Tennessee. The other one probably will. All right, so Joseph spent quite a lot of time today playing Tetris. He is so good at getting all this stuff in, like truly the convention packing master. I mean, it doesn't even look like we've added anything to the truck hardly, but I'm telling you, he rearranged the heck out of it and was able to get so much more stuff into it because he is the Lego king.
That up there too, and that'll probably block it.
Okay, so it is Wednesday. I guess we've been packing for like a week and a half now, and the hurricane is set to be past us by about Friday. So I think what we're going to do is we're gonna wait till Friday and then leave Friday morning, but Joseph wants to continue to keep an eye on the weather. And we basically got the new apartment sorted. So 20-foot U-Haul. Got it packed pretty dense. Still have some ways to go. So M-Day is tomorrow, so we're working on getting things into the car and the last few final things into the back of the truck. You can tell what's important by what's going in the car itself. We've got my paints, we've got my brushes, we've got the glass tabletop for my desk, we've got my scanner, In here are a bunch of art supplies. We have Joseph's didgeridoo, and we have my guitar. Check out this beautiful friend who decided to hang out on my guitar. Trying to see what Joseph's up to, and a little afraid we might hurt it, but we're not gonna. Hi, friend. Everything except the guitar. Did not think I had 20 cubic feet worth of stuff. Apparently I did. Okay, so the plan is to leave tomorrow morning, hopefully around 10ish, earlier maybe. I'm not a morning person, so fingers crossed on that. But the plan is to leave tomorrow morning, hopefully beat the storm. So as Laura, which is now I think a category 1 or even less, heads up and curves over towards Memphis, we're going to be driving down and around through Huntsville, Tuscaloosa, not Birmingham, I don't think that's on the route, Picayune, Slidell, and New Orleans to get to Norco, Louisiana, where we have a really nice house rented, and we spoke to the landlady today and she seems really nice as well, so hopefully that is a good living situation. She lives next door, so it could either be great or it could be terrible, so we'll find out. But the plan is to put in a solid 8 to 9 hours of driving tomorrow, which is going to be interesting because both Kenneth and I, who are driving in the Jetta, oh, won't let me turn as I record, who are driving in the Jetta, we both get sleepy when we drive, and I have about 4 hours in me. So what I'm thinking is I'll probably start the drive, go for as long as I can, switch off, and then try to end the drive. And that is the Jetta. It is packed as full as it is right now, and there's Kenneth and Joseph with the box spring. I don't think it'll fit. But I've been wrong before. So hopefully I'm wrong again.
Well, yeah, I bet.
Oh my gosh, it will fit. I was wrong. Yeah, Joseph measured it. When I was a kid, my grandparents had 2 dogs, Jingles and Samantha. And Jingles was a mutt of ill-determinate breed. And when I read Terry Pratchett books and I read about Gaspode, I always think of Jingles. That is the Jingles in my mind. He's definitely part terrier. And Samantha was a border collie who was so inbred she couldn't even be used as a show dog, and she was afraid of everyone. And I think about Jingles and Samantha a lot when I think of Joseph and I, because Jingles called the shots. And Samantha listened to the shots that Jingles called because Jingles typically knew better than she did. And while we're both pretty smart people, I would say Joseph is more intelligent than I am, and I have more common sense than he did. Although in this instance, he did way better than I could, and I think that mattress will actually fit too. So the plan is to get the TV in between the box spring and the mattress, but I think it'll work. I'm impressed. He impresses me like all the time. Maybe I'm easily impressed. I don't know.
Might have to crawl inside.
Oh my gosh, y'all are in for a real treat.
It's all the way at the bottom, down there in that hole.
What'd you drop?
I didn't drop anything. I'm getting the toolbox.
Toolbox is one of those things that would be really handy to have up in the front with you.
Yeah, I guess I could bring the toolbox.
Or at least some of them. Like, I know there's tools you guys have been using a lot.
Yeah, that's why we waited so long to pack it.
Yeah. Oh, he did such a good job getting it in. And now Joseph's got to crawl in there. He did it! Ah, the fanfare! Woo!
Yeah, there's a box that's like sticking out a centimeter too far. So I just put in this edge first.
I'll tell you, Nashville is serving up some Louisiana realness in terms of humidity. Our final goodbye is not a beautiful, dry summer day, but like a really damn sticky, hot, humid summer day, just like what we're going to.
That's it for the truck, right?
Huh?
That's it for the truck.
For now.
Yeah.
Oh, I was hoping he'd Mary Poppins down. That's probably not safe, though. Yeah, it's probably wedged up and fell. A single leaf graced his booty. So I think this is going to be the last time we eat at Jenny's or get ice cream from Jenny's. Oh, you will be missed.
These definitely don't go well together. I didn't think they would. I decided to just pick
What'd
one.
you get? Watermelon.
Brown, butter, almond, and watermelon taffy.
Oh yeah, those do not go together. This is milkiest coffee and darkest chocolate.
Every other time I'm
Kenneth has the brambleberry, which is pretty good. I apologize for the dark, but this room has no ceiling lighting except for the LED light that we'd had in here. So, and bathroom is mostly, and hallway is mostly, and other bedroom is more. Oh, here comes the Bo. Here comes the Bo. Hey, Bo. He's a great Bo. He loves this because it's like so much room to run. So much room to play. And there is a very tired Becca. So tired. So yeah, mostly done. Hopefully leave in the morning tomorrow, but I'm pretty exhausted, so I don't even know. And there's Cleo in her cage, but you can't see her because she's not out. Hey, Bo. Bowie. Hi. Okay, so this is it. It's about 10 something in the morning. I was just completely exhausted last night with cleaning for several hours in the late evening. So I was not like getting up early. I don't care what anybody thought. And this used to be the room I used as a studio. It's not a great room. I mean, it's a fairly sizable room, but like no fan, no one vent off to the center. No ceiling lighting, so it meant all the lighting in this room, and this room was like bright as the sun, was because we put a bunch of lighting in. One window, and then here's the bathroom. I've complained about this bathroom for many years because it's a Jack and Jill bathroom. So it is a fairly small bathroom, and it got old quick. And this is what we mean by Jack and Jill. There's 2 sinks spread out, taking up extra room. Linen closet. And then this still needs to be packed up a little bit more, but it's mostly done. It's mostly just soft stuff. And then it's gonna be dark. This foyer used to have my convention stuff and more convention stuff. Attic's up there. Then there was a mini fridge and the litter box. And then this closet was all convention stuff. And this closet in here was art supplies, convention stuff, etc. Kind of a mix. Okay, stairs. For a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, I would not recommend going with stairs. Stairs take up a lot of space. Here's the half bath. Still got stuff to throw away out of it. Here's the front door. This is the view from the front door. There was a coat closet that mostly just held boxes. Obviously, still got some stuff to clean up. Bowie's helping himself to some hot chicken. He's on a kitty cat diet and wasn't fed this morning because we're riding for 8 hours. Somebody was a fool to leave food out with a cat. I know. I'm going to have to put it in a cabinet. Well, I know, or throw it away. Okay, kitchen. This kitchen was always very small. So you can see stove and fridge. You couldn't have more than 1 person in here at a time, basically. Laundry room, also very small. Had a litter box in that corner. Was just always full. Oh, he's gonna drink the sauce. That has to go in the garbage, except there's no trash bags. Great. Living room, fireplace that was barely ever used. A fair amount of light from the back. And then this was the dining room. And this chandelier has cut my head many times. So we were kind of limited because it had to be a dining room because you couldn't use this for anything. Okay guys, it is 11:10. We're finally about to head out. You guys see the Bo cat in the back seat. He's not ready to go, but he's gonna go. And we've got about a 7-hour drive ahead of us, so we should get there, fingers crossed, at around 7 p.m. tonight. So it's, my thing says 8:52, but I know it's not 8:52. Surely not. We were supposed to originally get in at 7, but after several pit stops and Bowie going for a walk and stretching his little kitty leggies, we're really getting in at like 9:12 instead. So we're not far off. We're like 30 minutes away, if that.
I can't hear you. Are you speaking?
Alright, so this is it after 9 hours of driving and a cat who really wants to get out and walk around. We've made it. Alright, this is it. So Kenneth, alright, the key was under the back door? Okay. So this is our first time physically being in here. My mom actually came first. Oh, look! Bo seems intrigued. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta keep them all flat.
Yes, we do. But it's very nice in here. This place is so big.
It's fully furnished. Making fun of that.
Oh yes. I think this is gonna end up being the studio. I can put my table back here and you can work here.
Window. It's just a door.
So? Yeah, and then you can pull it out. Wow, this place is really big.
I know.
And nice. Oh, sorry. I got super Joseph. Seriously.
Gigantic.
Look at this giant closet.
Oh.
We could put all our stuff in here. Almost.
Do you want to do that?
It would work.
I wonder what this is.
Leave it alone. If it's not for us, it's not for us.
I didn't say I'm gonna open it. I was gonna wonder what it is.
And then this is the bathroom. This bathroom's...
Did they have enclosed?
Yeah, this was, well, I mean, this was slightly more expensive than the place we were renting in Nashville.
I bet. Yeah.
Hey, so long time no talk. As you guys probably gathered from the beginning of this video, we just moved from Nashville back down to Louisiana. We are currently in Norco and we're here renting while we're looking for a more permanent residence. We're looking to buy a house and kind of settle down. So it's been a really hectic 2 months. Let's see. So in July, we got married and had a Kickstarter, and then like my mom hit my car, so we were in Louisiana for an extra 2 weeks, and then as soon as we got back, we had to start packing things up because Joseph's brother Kenneth came to help us, and he wanted to get back sooner than the end of August, which is when we planned on moving. And it ended up taking us like 2 weeks of solid packing to get packed up. And yesterday was the first day we were back for like a full day. Weren't moving in, we're just kind of unpacking things and trying to get back to normal. We're still working on getting the internet set up, getting the place set up, making it, it's already furnished, it's already suitable for living. It's actually a very nice house, but we're working on making it suitable for our work. So setting up some lighting and getting the internet connected and setting up our computers, stuff like that. So it's gonna still probably be a little bit before I start streaming again, or I'm able to do some of the stuff that I used to enjoy doing, just because our focus right now is getting moved in and getting everything kind of set up. And I keep checking because this back porch door behind me, it locks, but it doesn't shut all the way, and Bowie likes to, I wouldn't say sneak out. I mean, we're out here when he comes out here, but he likes to come out without his leash, and just not really a good time for that. So the noise you guys hear in the background is rain. We actually moved back to Louisiana at the start, not quite the start, but like 2 weeks into hurricane season. In fact, hurricanes, or Tropical Storm Marco and Hurricane Laura kind of delayed us leaving a little bit since we didn't want to be driving in hurricane weather. And we left to make the drive back down on Friday. And there were some tornado warnings as we were leaving Nashville, but other than that, the weather was really pretty mild, and we only caught a little bit of drizzle, like not anything I would stress out about. I mean, it was drizzling about like what it is right now, you know. And it was about a 9.5-hour drive because we made some stops, and for some reason when you stop to go to the bathroom, get some gas, and buy a snack, it ends up adding a whole extra hour to your trip. So what should have been about 8 hours flat always stretches out way longer than you would expect it to. And Joseph drove that big 20-foot U-Haul by himself. Kenneth and I drove the Jetta, and I managed to get 6 hours in before it got dark. I've been working on increasing my, so I have two concerns about driving. I learned how to drive late. I was 24 when I first learned how to drive. So it's not like it's something that I just have all these years of practice. My parents weren't the kind of parents who let me practice on the car when I was younger. I mean, I had experience driving tractors, but that tractor is not a car, and a tractor in a field is not a car on a road. So I have a lot of, or I've had a lot of driving anxiety. It used to be kind of an overwhelming thing for me, and I would have panic attacks while I was driving. So it got to the point where I just wouldn't drive at all, which made me feel very trapped in Nashville because I lived kind of not in downtown, but not far from downtown. So I was in the center of everything, but I wasn't super close to a lot of the things I like to do. So everything was about a 15-minute drive for me, which isn't bad. But when you have driving anxiety and you're driving on like the interstate and people are very aggressive drivers, it doesn't help. And then another contributing factor to this is I tend to get driving hypnosis, where you just kind of like, it goes beyond zone out. Like you start falling asleep behind the wheel. And that has caused problems for me in the past. I've only been in one accident. I hit a sign avoiding a deer in rural West Virginia. But it's like one of those major terrors for me. And I've had a lot of nightmares about dying in car accidents. So I wanted to, when we moved to Louisiana, you can't really live in Louisiana and not be able to drive yourself. So it was really important to me to kind of reclaim that and get comfortable with it. And the thing about Louisiana driving is, for the most part, people are better drivers than they are in Nashville, at least where I lived in Nashville. I lived off of West End right by Vanderbilt, which meant there was a lot of college drivers in giant F-450 trucks that they have no business driving. So you really had to be careful because they wouldn't check their mirrors, they wouldn't look behind them, they couldn't see you because they didn't check, and they were in a vehicle they couldn't control. Whereas people here, I like to joke that people here want to kill you when you're driving, but they know you're there, so if you just get out of their way, they're usually good. Whereas in Nashville, they literally don't know you're there and won't check, and will drive into you if you don't somehow understand where they want to go, because they don't use their signals there either, so good luck. But I did 6 hours of that drive, and Kenneth took the final 2.5 hours once it got dark, since my night vision is pretty terrible. And we made it. And then Joseph was like, let's get half unpacked. So we unpacked half the truck at 11 o'clock at night. So I was really exhausted. And then the next day, we had breakfast with my family, and my mom and brother and aunt came over and helped unpack some. So we ended up getting the truck totally unpacked Saturday. So now we just have to get our stuff either squirreled away or unpacked and usable. So that'll take a little bit of time too, because we both lost a month, you know, like Joseph's lost a month with work, he's been working remotely. I've lost a month, which is really bad because I haven't forgotten about the Kickstarter, and I haven't forgotten what I owe people, and I haven't forgotten what I need to do. I just need to get back on the ball and do it. For me, all of this wasn't planned. Like the wedding was planned and the Kickstarter was planned. We did intend on moving. I didn't think it was going to be when it was, and I didn't think it was going to be as like, got to do it right this second. I thought I'd be able to work while we were moving, which is probably a fallacy on my part that I won't make again. And yeah, so in a lot of ways we've been very, very fortunate. and in a lot of ways I'm going to be playing a lot of catch up and trying to get stuff back on ball and back figured out. But I'm really happy to be moved. I've already had so many ideas for 7-inch Kara because there's something about living in the area where the book is set, or close to. This is Norco and it's set in Hahnville. And even though I grew up in Luling, which is like basically Hahnville, it's just right down the road by 10 minutes. Having spent time out, I kind of forgot some things. So like I'm sitting here thinking like hurricane season, if you don't have a hurricane, it rains twice a day, but it's sunny in the interims. It only rains for like an hour. But I was thinking that would drastically affect Kara's life because she's 7 inches tall and she's like navigating the grass, you know? And flooding is a real problem in a lot of these areas. So even just like an inch of water, if you're 7 inches tall, an inch of water is like to your kneecaps. So it's definitely inspired me because 7-inch Kara takes place kind of at the start of hurricane season, the start of the new school year. So now would be the time, going into volume 3 would be the time to really start writing that kind of stuff in and having that kind of gently, slightly change the course of the story and also allow it to foreshadow. I'm really excited about getting local inspiration and just kind of living that again. It's kind of weird. I'm genuinely convinced, or I feel like if I just lived back home in the state where Kara's set, I'm going to have a lot more success with Kara and it's going to be a stronger story. So I'm excited to be able to make those changes and to be able to pursue those things. So yeah, looking forward to that. And also it's really nice just to sit like on this beautiful porch and just kind of enjoy the weather and hear the thunder and just get to be outside but not like baking in the sun. From some of the vlogs at my mom's house, you guys can see there's trees, but there's not like a lot of just shaded area you can just kind of hang out in. So I know I don't really spend as much time outside when I'm visiting with her as I would like. So this is a really nice change of pace, and I actually hope I can get some painting done out here. It would be nice just to be able to spend time outside and just kind of enjoying the weather outside. So yeah. Anyway, so my estimate, honest estimate, is 2 weeks. Things might start getting back to normal. We're supposed to have Cox Cable come out tomorrow and get the cable finish set up. It's supposed to already be set up, but it's not. So they're coming out tomorrow to do that. So at least I'll be able to maybe do a stream on Saturday. We'll see. No promises though. We're relearning a lot of things because for both of us, even though we kind of grew up, Joseph's from Santa Ma and I'm from Luling, even though we grew up in this area kind of sort of, everything was kind of handled by our parents growing up. So, and then our adult life was spent in Savannah and then spent in Nashville. So we're kind of relearning some of these things as we go along, which at 34 feels like starting all over again, but I guess that's okay. So anyway, that's just kind of what's been going on. That was a vlog of the move, and once we get our boxes squirreled away so they're not everywhere, I'd love to show you guys what the new work setup looks like. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and hopefully I'll see you guys again soon. Bye guys.